Welcome back to Unplayable. I know it's been a while, but I'm back from traveling now and we're going to get right back into the Market Watch videos. So a lot of stuff has happened over the last few weeks since I've done one of these, so let's get right into it. I want to first take a look at the cards that we were tracking last time, and you'll notice something. Basically, everything has gone down. So we see price drops pretty much across the board except for Ursula here, which I just attribute to people, playing her more than they were before, which is fine. I think $16 for a legendary, not too crazy. The ones that I'm surprised about is Elsa being so much cheaper than Rapunzel and even being cheaper than Belle. Maybe people just aren't playing her as much in that deck, or maybe she was sort of oversold. I think part of it is that while Elsa is really good, like Rapunzel goes into literally every single Amber deck, and Elsa needs a more specific Amethyst deck in order to thrive. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of that. I'm not quite sure there. But now that we've sort of set the stage for what we're going to look at, let's move over to our favorite TCG player. All right, so obviously since last time, Rise of the Floodborn has been announced and people have listed products for sale on TCG Player. I think it goes without saying, I don't recommend anyone buy any of these right now. I think that if you are going to try and pre-order sealed product, you don't want to do it via TCG Player like this. Go to your local game store. They'll hopefully be pre-selling it at MSRP. I personally wouldn't be buying these for over 10% over MSRP. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. So one other thing is that the print run for this second set has been, I think, confirmed to be about the same size as the first set, which means that depending on when they're going to be able to get the additional print run out to people, there could be a similar squeeze on set 2 like there was in set 1. So if you're someone who is a flipper, that's not me, but if you are a flipper, maybe it makes sense to pay a little bit extra to guarantee that you get a couple booster boxes so you can open them and sell the cards before they drop in price, which I think they will. Again, not something that I'm into, but maybe a smart move if you're into that kind of thing. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to specifically talk about related to Rise of the Floodborn is, number one, a bunch of people have actually bought this. So this is the Disney 100 Collector's Edition box. And there are some other sealed products that have zero purchases or 2-3 purchases. Some of them may be fake, but this one, quite a few people have actually bought this at what I think are insane prices. So I do not think that you should do this. I think that this product is not going to be nearly as rare as some people think that it will be. It is very cool. If it does get underprinted, yes, it probably will command a high price point, but I don't think we know enough to justify spending these prices. I mean, especially into the close to $1,000 prices, like crazy. I think this is probably going to retail at $60 or less, and to pay $1,000 for it seems a little insane without knowing exactly how many they're printing. So I would wait on this. I'm personally waiting on this. You'll probably be able to buy this at your local Walmart or Target. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's sort of where my head's at right now. And then I also want to talk about real quick the singles market for set 2. I would say don't buy any of these. I think that all of these are a terrible deal. All of this is going to drop in price eventually. $100 for this Belle that I don't even think is that good is absurd. Thankfully, nobody is actually buying it. 3 people in theory bought it, but who knows if that's legit. And yeah, I would definitely recommend just waiting for the set to release, waiting a few weeks for things to settle if you're the type of person who just wants to fill out your collection like me. If you're somebody who wants to buy and flip, I extra wouldn't buy these because the prices are all insane. Don't fall into this trap. Don't get sucked into the FOMO. It's not worth it, I promise. All right, just a few cards that I wanted to talk about aside from Rise of the Floodborn. We've got the Enchanted Elsa up from $500-$600 to $815, which is nuts. I did not expect this. I thought that this would drop quite a bit in price from where it was at. I thought this would end up around $300-$400, and maybe it will when we get another run of product. But this is definitely showing the strength of the collector market, and this is honestly pretty crazy. So I'm surprised to see it. I don't know if it will stay this high. I think long term, I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed this high, but I think short term, when the next round of boxes hits shelves, if the print run is big enough, this will probably drop. So I probably would look to, if you want to get one of these cards, I would look to buy on the dip when that does happen, I think it will happen. And that's probably when I would try to pick one of these up. I think right now is probably not the best time. Even though I think long term it probably will maintain this price or even reach higher prices, I don't think that now is the best time to buy this card. So the next most expensive is this Mickey Mouse Wayward Sorcerer Enchanted. I think, again, this sort of shows that these enchanted cards are really prioritized by collectors. I don't think anybody's buying this to put into their deck, but it makes sense that Mickey as a character is the next most expensive card. I'm, again, surprised to see how much more expensive Elsa is than this. More than twice the price of this Mickey. So if people value these enchanted cards really highly over a long period of time, Mickey probably goes up in price, maybe closer to Elsa just because of how iconic of a character he is, obviously. But again, too early to say, in my opinion, like what is going to happen with these. I think long term, this probably goes up. I think short term, this goes down. It's hard to say whether Elsa is going to stay so far ahead of these other ones. And if you are a Disney collector, you're probably pretty excited to own the Mickey Mouse Enchanted card. There's actually 2 Mickey Mouse Enchanteds, right? So that may be contributing to the discrepancy a little bit, where maybe people don't know which Mickey to collect, or maybe they feel like they have to collect both of the Mickeys. Elsa may just be an easier sort of entry into the high-end Disney Lorcana cards. She's getting into the Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor D23 card. Not quite there, obviously, but she's getting close. And I think it's rumored that there were 5,000 of those Mickeys printed. No idea how many of these Elsas were printed. Maybe somebody can do some math and try and figure it out, but probably will end up being a total of more than that. So hard to say where this will end up. A couple other ones that surprised me. One is John Silver. So I think during the last video, which was about 3 weeks ago, so let's say early September, prices are around like $10, and now it's at $20. So I'm a little surprised to see it more expensive than Ursula even. Maybe people are playing a green deck that I don't know about, or maybe people just like the Treasure Planet card. But yeah, again, kind of surprised to see this. I don't know exactly what to make of it. Another one, Let It Go. I think last time we talked about this, it was around $4 or $5. So this has increased since the last time we've talked. It's just interesting that like there are a couple cards that have this one's significantly gone up. This one's gone up a little bit when everything else has gone down pretty much. So kind of interesting to take a look at. As a rare, I don't know if this sustains over time, but maybe this just shows a shift in the metagame in terms of what people are buying for their decks. Last 2 cards I want to talk about. One is Cold Foil Tamatoa, the shiny card, right? I still would probably buy this at this price if I didn't have a playset yet. So I'm just excited about this card. I think it's cool. And lastly, let's talk about Mickey Mouse again. I've talked about this, I think, every time. I still think this is crazy undervalued at like $1. It's super rare. I can see a world in which this is as good in decks as the Ariel that's like $8. I don't know. Again, I'm not one to just like buy up a bunch of these and then flip them later. That's way too much work for me. But I think if you are that type of person, or if you're interested in sort of getting ahead of the curve for deck building, I think you should probably try and pick your play set up now, because we're already seeing some cool Emerald cards in the next set that could synergize really well with this card. So I think this card just ends up getting better and better over time. And it's not hard to imagine a world where this goes into a really good deck. All right. And that's it for this week's Market Watch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you think that I'm totally crazy and wrong about everything, let me know in the comments. If you're not already in our Discord, you should definitely join that. The link is down below. If you made it all the way to the end here, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.